We have to pull the trigger and move on so the state is no longer being held hostage in this manner, and then we can go fight the good fight on the hustings and maybe win back control of the Senate. Then you could do it your way.
Well, I'll tell you, Liz, to me, it's a matter of the future is at stake here. And I don't believe, and this is where we strongly, philosophically, particularly many of us who have come to the legislature recently, we cannot continue in the same manner as before. We cannot continue to tax and to spend. We cannot continue to raise barriers to job creation. We've got to think and attack traditional thinking. And that's the encouraging thing about all the gubernatorial candidates. They're now talking about some of the things that some of us have proposed, whether it's a state spending cap, a property tax cap. These are the kind of things that we can be dealing with and debating and also voting on. So at this point in time, unless they were prepared and willing to take many of the considerations and initiatives that we had proposed and put them up for a vote, I'm not going to stand there and vote for something that I'm philosophically opposed to, that I believe will hurt the people of this state.
Okay, well, let's talk about the politics then, because as you mentioned, you have gubernatorial candidates all sounding awfully allied with some of the things that the Senate Republicans have been putting out up until this moment, including the Democrat Andrew Cuomo. Do you think that you could live with a Cuomo governorship?
We can, the people of the state will decide who the next governor is going to be. I'm just hopeful that whoever that person is, that we're going to continue to have an open dialogue and a discussion of where the legislature from both parties as well as the executive stand on issues, that we will have communication and cooperation. I think from his role as Attorney General, he has been someone that we can communicate with and that you can discuss issues with. And the end is going to be, as a leader, how do you develop a consensus so that we can move forward?
You sound very pro-Cuomo, Senator. Have you? I thought your conference had endorsed, or most members of your conference had endorsed Rick Blasio.
The people of the state have to make a decision who they feel will be the best governor for this state. Right now, you asked me a question on whether or not we can work with any particular individual. I think you can work with Rick Blasio or Carl Palladino, whoever the people of this state determine should be their next governor. The only thing I know is there will be an Italo-American governor next year, Liz.
Have you actually endorsed someone for governor at this point?
Well, because of the Republican primary, I have not taken in a position in that at this point in time.
Are you concerned about what's happening? I mean, the way that it looks right now is it's possible that you could have a three-way race in November with Carl Palladino kind of waffling on whether he's going to be keeping that taxpayer line that he's petitioning to create, and then maybe Rick Blasio on the conservative line, unless he loses to this guy Ralph Lorigo, of course, the conservative chairman in Erie County. I mean, the state of your party, this was supposed to be the big year for you guys, and it's not turning out that way, in New York anyway.
Well, I think that from a perspective of, if you look forward, I think the Republicans have put together some excellent candidates who have a very strong message on a variety of issues that will resonate with the people of this state. We have confidence that when we get out to campaign and to interact with people, that they will understand and appreciate that and select the candidates of the Republican Party as a result. Now, my concern, first and foremost, is I believe we need balance in state government. Right now we have one-party control, one-region domination. So I believe that a Republican Senate would help balance that. I believe that we will have success in statewide office races this year, and I think you'll see some gain in both the Assembly and the House.
Let me ask you, you're going to be headed to Albany in the next 24 hours, I would expect. The House is expected to be in session tomorrow, and there's word of a potential agreement on an FMAP contingency plan between the Senate Democrats and the Assembly Democrats. Is that something that your conference might be able to loan some votes to?
We'll have to take a look at what the proposal is. I think that from a conceptual standpoint, we recognize that you need to be prepared in the event that something doesn't occur. You should lobby hard for that money, but in the interim, I believe a contingency plan is important. Now, the nature of that plan we have not seen, so I want to reserve judgment until we have an opportunity to look at what the plan is. And that's another one of the concerns of Albany, that such important and significant issues are thrust on your desk just hours before they expect a vote on it. There's so much that needs to change, in my opinion, Liz, here after 3 years, and I'm hopeful. That's why I've been a strong proponent of a limited forum constitutional convention, because we really need to change the culture dramatically and significantly in Albany.
Well, we'll be talking more about the Constitutional Convention down the road, I'm sure, and we'll be seeing you in Albany soon. I want to thank you very much, Senator Griffo, for joining us.
Thank you, Liz. It's always a pleasure.